us your tips, Daggy Beaver, for the Melbourne Cup Day preview. What's cracking, Beaver?
Mate, what is cracking? It's all heating up for a big day tomorrow for Melbourne Cup, and looking forward to diving into some of the interesting runners in that with you, and hopefully we can find a winner on this big day for the punters.
Absolutely. We're going to have a look at Flemington and the very good Randwick card as well, where I'm perhaps keener to bet. We'll get to the feature in due time. We are here all year round. If you're popping in for the first time, we do this. We're in the trenches just about 52 weeks of the year, giving free tips for Saturdays and most midweek venues. So subscribe and stick around and hopefully find a winner or two along the way. Let's get to Flemington, where the rail goes out to the 2 metre position. The weather looks perfect. And no, it's in true, actually. Well, looks good. Track will be good. Obviously, we're starting to get deeper into the day with, nearly 19 races over the couple of days. I suspect they may be fanning by the end of it. But generally, it plays pretty well, Flemington, Beaver?
Sure does. Usually fairly fair on these types of days. I think most horses will get their chances, and what looks to be an interesting card.
We kick off with the Maribyrnong Plate for the babies, 1,000 metre up the straight. Has anything caught your eye here? And what looks a decent little 2-year-old race?
It looks a decent little 2-year-old race. Couple of obviously first starters, and then a few that have had a start or two. I am going to stick with Price Tag from the Friedman stable. I love his horses, these types of setups here. I thought the first run was pretty good. I thought it was pretty luckless at Flemington down the straight, so it's got the experience there behind a pretty decent horse. I thought it hit the line hard, was well in the market there, so I think they know that this horse has a bit of ability, and I think the draw is perfect in gate 13. I think down the middle of the track, this sets up nice, and for that reason, I've got it on top. And then I thought the two main dangers were the Hayes runners around the $10 mark. Bakash, ridden by J Mac, and the top one, Shining Smile. It was a good debut, and I think in a similar race there, or the same race there, so no reason why he won't run as well again too.
Absolutely. I actually like the Hayes run. I thought Shining Smile did a good job. I know Price Tag was the flashing light there, but I thought Shining Smile was just beaten by the horse that had the rail on debut. And as you say, around $10 is a fair enough play. But there's lots of bits and pieces here. I thought Military Tycoon, a debutant for the Mars stable from gate 3, might find that inside rail, and looks a nice mover from the trials. And you've mentioned Price Tag out of that same race as the toppy. The second is an 1,800 metre 3-year-old listed race here, where I'm going to go with the grey on top here. Statuario, I thought, did a good job riding the pace last time out. Should have been in the finish alongside Treasure of the Moment. Just got squeezed out halfway up the straight there. That horse obviously went on and won the Wakeful in the weekend. And I think from the outside gate goes back, but ridden quieter might actually suit. The couple of wins before that was very impressive, wrapping up some fields at some skinny tracks. So around the $6 mark, I'm going to put it on top. From Hammett, who comes down off a midweek kill for Chris Waller, and he just gets these horses right every year when he brings them down. I think this is an absolute live chance as well. Your thoughts, Beaver?
Yeah, good summary there, and I don't think you're far off the mark. I've gone for Plymouth, however. So it was in that same race that was won by Treasure of the Moment, and started favourite in that, and just got way too far back on probably what looked to be a track that you needed to be closer to the lead. I thought it grounded way okay in that race. I think the extra 200 suits here. So while it was only fifth on paper, I think the run was slightly better. And I'm hoping the track's a bit fairer here and more suited by the Flemington track. So I got it on top. I think you're right. Hammett could be a bit of a smoky here coming down for this as the main danger.
The third is a 1,400 metre benchmark 90, the Sub-Zero handicap, the Greys race, traditional feature on Cup Day. Who have you found?
Yeah, the good old Greys race here. I think the favourite looks clear cut on top here. Cloudland from the Lee's stable. It's been pretty good. While it hasn't won, it's been there or thereabouts this time in. comes down from Queensland, actually. So that's an interesting pointer for me, having gone there after some nice runs in, finished a nice 4 starts back, a second behind Willow Day, who's a good little horse, and then went to Queensland and ran some okay races, sort of, around a length off the winners. I think this is perfect. J Mac on board. Going to be hard to beat.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Easily on top for me. As you said, J Mac takes over. It can lead this if it wants. It can sit pretty much anywhere, and there's a long tail on this race, if we're being honest. Best horse, best jockey, tick, tick. To me, the danger actually might be Mathletic, who I think first up, second prep in Oz. The trials have been really good this time in, but favourite, very, very hard to beat. The 4th, 1,000 metres for the 3-year-olds up the straight. And I was quite taken here, the further I got down this field, by the Moody filly, Versailles. I thought it was a very nice win on debut. And the trials both trials this time back in have been beautiful. Really, really impressive mover. I think she's going to be hard to beat. From the stablemate, Adolfito, back to 1,000, back to a dry track, back to the straight suits, and it's $15. So on the outside rail as well. So that'll be the 2 bets in the race. And possibly have something on Blue Stratum, just because it's one of mine and should have been the finish last time out in its 20s. But we'll make that the 3rd pick. Beaver, your thoughts?
Yeah, tricky little race, this one. I was really struggling to sort of line them all up. I've settled on the 18. Versailles I think it is, from the Moody Coleman stable. Only had the 1 start, and that was pretty good at Bendigo. Speedy customer just set off the pace there, was well backed, and won quite comfortably there. I think it might have a bit of upside, then sent out for a spell, comes back here, resumes. Gate 3, I would have liked it probably on the other side of the track, but we'll see. I had it on top and hardest to beat. I thought Manolo Bling could run well as well. Been racing in fairly good company behind the likes of Bellatrix Star. So I think it can run well. Had a bit of a let up here and resuming here. My main danger.
Very good. The 5th is a 2,800 metre Heritage Cup, the other staying race on the card. Who have you come up with?
Yeah, pretty keen on the top one here. Favourite, Kinesiology from the Waller stable. Comes here after some really good form in Europe. I think, 4 seconds in a row after winning its maiden. That looks good form for here over this distance. This is a fairly weak affair. 2,800 looks suit, and I think it's going to be super hard to beat. Had it on top, main danger, Quantum Cat. I think it can run well at the double figure odds, so I'd be saving on a hit, but pretty keen on Kinesiology here.
Agree. We've just seen all spring how much better these European stayers are. They've taken every staying feature they've run in so far, so easy to like. And at the moment, there's been some money for it, but it's about $3. Kinesiology, easily on top. Danger, Whiskey on the Hill, just got spat out the back. Never really got a crack in the Bendigo Cup last week. Quick back up from there is the danger for me. And then 3rd pick, if I had to have one, would be Newfoundland leading for Gay. The 6, 1,800 metre Furphy Plate. And a couple of bets here for me. I thought Midnight Blue was quite good, leading in winning out of its own steam there at Seymour in the Seymour Cup. It's $13, gets control. Last time it was on a Saturday in Melbourne, it beat Berkeley Square. So that looks all right to me. And the danger, I think, is Aaron Bay. Just nabbed late, but you just know once it gets out this trip at Flemington, it's going to be in the right spot. It's going to be in the finish. And again, you're getting an each-way price. I absolutely understand any case it's going to be made for Apulia, who is very scary in this race, I think, lightly raced. Your thoughts, Beef?
Yeah, I'm on Earl of Tyrone. That was a great first run here. Behind Midnight Blue was 20 odds in the Seymour Cup and absolutely rocketed home. Gets the extra distance here. March trains, as we've said, European horse. I think it'll drive a lot of improvement from that. And I think I'm pretty keen to take the $6.50-ish that's on offer at the moment. I think it's going to be super hard to beat. So I've got it on top. I think Apulia, you're right. it's been racing in really good company. It was good resuming, and then back last prep was in sort of group races. So if it form can stack up, it'll be hard to beat here. I think those two hold the key.
Beautiful. The feature is the 3,200 metre Group 1 Lexus Melbourne Cup. The race that stops a nation. It's a better field than it was actually shaping up as being at one point, I think, but I still think there's a tail on this, and I'm going to give you the honour of going first in tipping the winner.
Yeah, look, interesting race. I think it has a very, very long tail, and if you're backing out of sort of the top few chances, I think you're sort of a bit of a pin in it. You're just hoping for something, because I just don't see how the form stacks up for some of those. I'll start with my number 1 selection, and that's Buckaroo.
Yep.
I can't go past it. The draw obviously is seeing you get a little bit better price from the draw. Just hoping Marrero can find a posse for it, and it's not caught too wide or has some cover and can track into it. Obviously, the 3,200 may be a minor query, but again, the way it hit the line in the Caulfield Cup, the sectionals all rose where it came from at Caulfield. They weren't coming from that part of the track, and probably should have won by 4 or 5 lengths there. Prior to that, it only just got beat by VSS Senior, and we've seen what it's come out and done. And prior to that, its wins was outstanding. It's definitely the form horse of the race, has the best run in the Caulfield Cup. For that reason, I've got it on top and weighted well at 54.5. I think it's only has to run a good 3,200, and you're going to get the sight for your $7 that it is at the moment, and I suspect you might get a little bit more on the day. That's my untopper. Main Danger Vauban. I know it failed here last year, but it was favourite. Maybe some excuses, but its form since then has been outstanding in Europe. Comes here with, again, it carried 62 kilos behind Kyprius at its last start. That's pretty impressive form. Comes in here at 55. It's got one of the world's best jocks on top in William Buick, and for that reason, I've got it as one of the main dangers. My other danger is Sea King. That was a great win. First up, beating Berkeley Square in the Bendigo Cup. It was dominant, and I don't mind coming off dominant wins. Again, it's got European form, of which stacks up here and can run really well. It gets in with 50 kilos on its back, and got a great European jockey as well. And then outside of that, for exotics, I've got Zardozi in there. I think that was a really good blowout on Saturday. Finished off, hit the line nicely there. Prior to that was 4th in the Caulfield Cup. Nothing wrong with her finishing the top 4 in the Caulfield Cup. That stacks up to run well in the Melbourne Cup, and with 51 kilos on its back. Can't rule it out.
Yeah, very much a Bart Cummings prep, isn't it, the Zardozi?
Yep.
Miles in the legs. I agree with the top pick. I've got Buckaroo on top. You've covered that very well. That was the run of the day at Caulfield. And as you said, the VS Sistina form before that reads tremendously. Don't worry about the gate. He just has to get some cover for a couple of thousand metres. And this will be in the finish from Vauban. Started favourite last year. Not everything went its way. Form since has been good. And this is a weaker contest than what we saw last year, I think. The horse I've come around to overnight and having a bit of a chat with mate Steve is Land Legend. When you look at the list of jockeys, we've got so many jockeys down in the weights that, let's be honest, aren't your absolute A-grade. The absolute A-grade jockey in this race is Zach Burton, and had to make something happen in the Caulfield Cup there with Land Legend. I think it is a live chance here, one I didn't initially consider. And Interpretation has been on a rehab prep, but its last 2 runs have been very, very good, and it's from the best grand final camp in Australia, just about, in the Mar stable. So I think it can run a spot in your exotics as well. If you're doing a first 4 and such, the others I'd throw in would be the other 2 you mentioned, Sea King and One Smooth Operator. Good race, but I think we've got in the numbers we've mentioned, we have the winner in there for sure. Anything else you want to add on this race?
No, thank you.
Cool. 1,400 metres up next, a listed race for the 3-year-olds. I talked about Supercilious last week. It was scratched for this. I'm backing the stable that they've gone with the easier option. It's still 20-1. I think Flemington definitely suits. Getting to the outside here, it can run an almighty race at a price. So it's on top. From Chewing Gum, who is 10-1 and was a big finish, and absolutely Flemington will suit it. Make it the main danger. Obviously very scared of the lightly raced unbeaten horses, but I just think there's some value to be found here. What are you thinking?
Thought some value as well. I had Chewing Gum on top as well. Loved its last run. It closed quickly last start, and that was a lovely run. And prior to that, started favourite and ran second behind Treasure of the Moment, and we know how good it is. So it had to sit outside Treasure of the Moment that day, and Treasure of the Moment just kicked away and beat it. It beat it comfortably, but again, it's a quality horse. So there's obviously plenty of potential with Chewing Gum. I think it's got still on its way up. I had it on top as my clear on topper. Thought the main danger, Extremely Hardies from the Wallace stable. Again, coming from Sydney, that's a good pointer to me. And its runs to date have been very good. Can measure up here. Chop out on that.
Lovely. We stayed at the 1400 metres for the Jockey Club Stakes. For the older girls, who have you found in this one?
Yeah, look, this is a good race, isn't it? A tricky race. I think the key sort of sits up the top of the market here. I'm going to go for Miss Aria just because it's a horse I like, and I don't want to jump off now. Ultra consistent of late. I think you will get a sight for your money. I think it will. Gate 3's fine. It'll track into the race, and at some stage, it's going to finish in the top 3. I'm pretty certain of that. Aviatrix again looks to have ability. Comes across from South Australia. Hit the line well and was going as well as anything last start, but I think it might have been benefited from the track pattern there. But it's going to be on pace, and it's probably going to hit the lead somewhere around the 200 mark. And Miss Aria is going to have to get past it, and that may be a challenge. But that's pretty much the way I'm going. I think those two hold the key clearly here.
I agree. Yeah, exactly in that same order for all the reasons you've said. And I'm not sacking Quintessa just yet. It's had a lot against its last 2 and its 30, so I'll have a ticket on that. Throw it in my quaddie, but I agree 100%, so I won't rehash much more. The last, again, 1400 metres, easy finish to the day for the Barrier boys, is a benchmark 90, and I'm going to stick with Warney, who won first up. Went back to the trials, trialled well since. Nice tick over, and I don't think there's a lot of depth in this race. I'm going to have something on a Mer because the time to back it is fresh and at 30s, so Flemington should suit it. And I know you're about to talk about Reinberg, so I'll let you do that. Next best.
Yeah, I'm going to go Reinberg, fresh. I think it can run well. It's got J-Mac on board, got the inside gate, and does its best work fresh. 4 starts, 2 wins, 2 placings. I think that sets up nicely here, handles all conditions. Might just get the speed off the back of him here and hard to beat. Certainly, Warney was a good first up run and hit the line really well. Just thought it might be a little bit short here, and I'm a bit worried about second up syndrome. So I've gone Weinberg on top and hardest to beat.
Beauty. You get the honour of the Cup Day quaddie. What have you got for us?
Yeah, thanks, mate. So first leg being the Cup. I'm going to go number 1, Vauban, number 2, Buckaroo, number 13, One Smooth Operator, 14, Zardozi, and 15, Sea King. In the second leg, I'm going to go number 5, Extremely Hardies, number 8, Chewing Gum, number 7, Big Swinger, and number 10, Supernema. In the third leg, I'm going 5H Aviatrix, 9 Miss Aria, 6 Comrade Rosa, and 12 Fancify. And to finish in the last, I'm going number 3 Reinberg, number 12 Warney, number 11 Marble Arch, and number 7 Jack the Lad.
Okay, cool. Bit of value there. I'm going to make on Cup Day my best in the Greys race. Race 3, number 4, Cloudland, and my value race 8, number 4, Supercilious. What about you?
I'm going my value, race 8, number 8, Chewing Gum. I think that's going to be super hard to beat. And my best is race 5, number 3, Kinesiology.
Yes, very, very hard to beat, I think, as well. Right, Randwick, another big day out there with the big dance and the other dancers on the card. The Beaver's going to be on track. Excited, mate?
Yeah, I am excited. Be out there to do a bit of hopefully dancing myself and backing a few winners is the plan, but we'll see how we go.
It's what you do best. The rail goes out a metre, which doesn't happen often, but I don't think there's going to be too much difference there. Some rain around the morning, clearing, just should be a dead track, should be all systems go again. And we're going to kick off with the, we've got a midway on the Tuesday as well. 800 metre benchmark 72. And I think we've got a decent way to start the card here with his favourite, Flying Bandit. It's 2 midway runs. We're chasing El Costello and then State of America. That is very good form for this race. Had an easy kill at Hawkesbury, and I couldn't find a danger. Satnus will lead, I suppose, but has to get 2,000 metres. I think this favourite will win the first. Think, Dad?
Yeah, 100%. Nothing to add here. Form lines up good for this and looks too good. Got to take the shorts, but should put a bit of money in the bank for later.
Lovely. It's what we like. We've got 1,000 metre highway up next. Anything here for you?
Absolutely nothing here. Hopefully you can put something up for me to consider.
I'm considering Ticklebelly, who sat wide and was good behind Perennial, which is some fair midway form. Another couple of decent runs in similar grade along the way, and I thought, what price is it? About $7 or $8. Looks fair enough to me, and I'm going to give Caribbean King one more chance. Pulled up with Cardiac Arrhythmia last time, which they generally bounce off really well. In fact, generally win off it. So $14 with Nash swooping. On a day I've got a bit of faith in Nash, for better or worse at the moment, but I found him and Tommy Berry for most of the afternoon, which we'll see how that pans out. We'll make it the danger, $14, worthwhile play to me. The third is 1,500 metre benchmark 88. We want a dry track, but Charlton Lane's on top here. If it's ever going to win another race, I think this is it. Just has to get to the outside and it'll beat this. This is an average field, if we're being honest. Unless Battleton is here on a 3-day backup. If it is here, I think it'll win. Be hard to beat, but I'm assuming it may come out. 2 hopes, maybe 1 after scratchings. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I thought the same way. I thought Charlton Lane, that was a better return to form last start. I thought it was finishing off quite nicely behind Ducasse. That was a good run. Got well out of its ground and finished off nicely there. I think the 3 kilo claim helps. And then prior to that, wasn't far off them behind Heater Shock, who's going to be hard to beat later in the day. Yeah, I think if it carries the weight, it should beat these.
The fourth is a 1,300 metre benchmark 64. Plenty of owners' tickets being snaffled up for this, I'm sure. Who's going to win the race, though?
Yeah, I was not overly sure what to do here. I've gone for Tartaglia from the Cummings stable. Just thought the blue colours might be hard to beat here. Last start has trialled well, and then its last start 5th, all in a small field. Wasn't the worst run. Only 2 lengths off the winner after being well supported. I think second up here, fitter. Hopefully it can run well.
I've gone with Island Deck on top, coming back from a Reginald Allen, where it just got willowed there by the jockey last time out. But it was an okay run through the line. I think this dropping grade suits and a reasonable enough price. I think the Blazing Harry form should stack up. It's had a couple of track runs. Now gets to Randwick, which will help. And the run behind Stapati last prep reads quite well for this, a length off it. And I agree with you, Talia next best in an open race. The fifth is the Big Dance, $3 million listed race. Very good rendition of it. And you've mentioned Here to Shock. Is that the way you're going?
I am. I'm just surprised the quality of the field for the price money that's on offer. When Super Razzi's the 4th favourite in this type of race, raises a bit of a question mark to me. But anyway, nonetheless, it is what it is. I am going to go Here to Shock. Gate 1's perfect. It does have to carry 62 kilos, which is probably up to its very best here, and giving some horses like Tabby time 9 kilos. That's no small task. Gringotts is obviously hard to beat. Gate 23, I'm just trying to work out what happens here from gate 23, and that's my biggest concern. I would have had Gringotts on top if it drew a barrier, but just based on the barriers, I think these two are clearly the top two in this field. So I've got here to shock on top, scared of Gringotts, and I think Ducasse could run well again as well. Its form prior to its win last start was decent, and then stepped up and ran really well, beating Vivier last start. No reason it can't win, but again, drawn off the track. So a lot of the main dangers here to hit a shock are drawn off the track, and that's probably why you're getting $5. It probably would have been a little bit more otherwise.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty much in agreement. I think Hit a Shot goes straight to the front from gate 1 because there's not a lot of pace. I think Nash just goes straight to the front, and some of these chasers aren't going to go past it. On top for me, I'm scared of Gringotts. I know it's got the wide gate, but I don't think it's an issue in this field, and just has the smell of, Kieran Marhorse third up, grand final, possibly blowing this field away. So I'm a little bit scared. And you mentioned Super Artsy, but the horse is flying. Tim Clark going on will help that. The other numbers, if you're doing early quaddie, I considered were Tavi Time, Time Quest, Ducasse, and Money from the Sky, maybe even Vivier. But I think the top two have this race between them. The 6 is the Barn Dance, the highway version of the race. And I like the price around Melody again. We last time was at Randwick. It was chasing Moravia, who is a top horse, who we actually see later in the day. Went to Musselbrook. The leader just got away from it. I think this sets up much better, and it has won a highway here. Longro's Queen's the main danger. It sucked along the inside there behind Ferrari, which I think is good form for this as well. Has to run well, and I think Florino, Gallant Star, Rainbow Connections are all half a chance as well. But top two predominantly at a price is the way I'll be betting. What are you thinking?
I'm going to sound the alarm.
Uh-oh.
I'm going Florino. Third up here, I think this sets up okay. Gate drawn wide, so I think gives it no option but to go forward here and take it up. It led up last start. It's only got the 52 kilos on its back. And if it can get across and get to the lead, I think it's going to be super hard to beat. I did have two dangers at decent price. One is Melody again. Consistent, going well, $12. And I think the resumer, Bianco Villano, I think it can run really well here. Going back, it had some really nice form in decent company when last in work and put in some nice races, has trialled well for this and ran in open class back when last in work at Randwick.
The quaddie kicks off with the Little Dance over the mile. Who have you found in this one?
Look, another tricky race here. Some of these horses are not in the best form. I'm going to go for St. Lawrence. Now it's bounced back. It won well last start and bounced back into its form. And prior to that, a couple of starts back, ran second at Goulburn, third at Flemington, behind Gentleman Roy, third behind Astero Caulfield. That's probably a little bit better form than maybe what we were giving it credit for. So I think he can run well. Gate 7's perfect. Obviously concerned with Waterford. Hasn't won for a while, but we know it's good, and it's got a powerful finish here, and was only half a length off here to shock last start. So it's going to run extremely well. But again, 62 kilos. I thought those two had it between them.
I agree. I've gone with Waterford on trap. I thought the resumption was good. Goes Clippo to Tommy Berry, draws a gate, and I think this will be wound up. This is a borderline group horse, and this isn't a group race. I agree about St. Lawrence. Now it's had the track and distance win. It's quite impressive. It'll be the danger, and I suppose Estadio Mostella's going okay for Joe Pride there, if you're looking for another number. The 8th is the 1,100 metre benchmark 100. Very good sprint race. And as I said, I've put a bit of faith in Tommy Berry today, but Moravia had a big task last time out chasing Ostraka. I think the horse is going well and can bounce back here. From the blue colours, Renosu won for us at 50s last year on this day, but was off a long spell, 1,000 metres, just a bit too much for it. But the trials since was fantastic, and it will improve here. And Perel Fresh is the other danger. What have you made of this?
Yeah, I've gone Imperial Fresh on top here. It always gives you a few heart palpitations, this horse. I think if it doesn't get in trouble, it's going to be hard to beat. It seems to be a horse that finds trouble and finishes second and third, and it's like you should have been on and get on next time. And that's shown in its career to date performances: 4 wins, but 12 placings from the 18 starts. But one thing it does do is it flies well. It flies first up, 5 starts, 2 wins, and 3 placings. Never been out of a placing. Goes good this distance. I got it on top. Arabi is going really well, as you point out. So main danger.
1,000 metres up next. Race 9, benchmark 84. Who have you found?
Yeah, I'm going with the horse that was unbeaten last preparation in south of India. I think this just looks like a horse on the way up. Quite interesting. It looks like they've kept it for this race day. Trolled twice at Hawkesbury, both were very good. And then if you go and look at its form last prep, it's going to make jump outs. It's going to be on the pace from gate 5, and I think going to be hardest to beat. Can't really find too many dangers, to be honest.
Yep, no, it's on top. Last trial was good, and that was against Tamerlane, who ran well on Saturday. If there's a danger, look, Headwall might be a wet tracker, but I suppose it's going okay. And I think Dehorned Unicorn has come back in good order. Might be the value in the race. But South of India, clearly on top for me. Clearly on top in the last for me, which is a 1,200 metre benchmark 84. He's gently rolled. It would have won on Saturday at $10, but unfortunately I have to wait till today, and we don't get that price. But they've gone. I'm back in the stable to think they've found the right race. Good resumption. Second up now. Nash in an average race goes in. And Deprivation Leads is the one that has to get past. That's pretty much it for me. I thought maybe the 2 Melbourne Raiders might be the only other sort of numbers there to even consider. What have you made of it?
Great way to finish the day, gently rolled. Kept for this. That's a good form line and does its best work second up. Again, 3 starts and hasn't been out of a placing in those. So perfectly set up here. Same with track and distance is perfect, and the draw is ideal. So clearly on top here, I think that's a good pointer and hardest to beat.
Beautiful. The Randwick quaddie. Let's go with 1 Waterford, 2 Lock Eagle, 4 St Lawrence, 5 Estadio Mistella, and 11 Ravello. Second leg, 2 Dragonstone, 4 Moravia, 5 Periel, 6 Renoso. Third leg, 2 Headwall, 4 South of India, 7 Dehorn Unicorn, and we'll come home with 2 The Prodigal Son, 6 Deprivation, and 8 Gently Rolled. Your best in value at Randwick?
My best is race 9, number 4, South of India. I think it's going to be hard to beat. And my value is going to be race 6, number 14, Florino. I think you might get $7 or $8 on the day.
Beautiful. My best is race 1, number 1, Flying Bandit. And my value, race 6, number 9, Melody again. Anything happening in Queensland?
Mate, a little bit happening in Queensland. I haven't set out too much depth on the form, but what I have done is race 5, number 4, Larrikin Rogue. I think it's going to be super hard to beat. And then later in the day, I did have in the last race, race 9, number 5, Kirakan.
Beautiful. Good luck tomorrow, mate.
Thank you.
Have fun. And yeah,
That's the plan.
Good luck with all the punters tomorrow on the biggest race day of the year. Stay tuned later in the week. Hopefully I have something for Oaks, but we're definitely back for Champions Stakes Day on Friday as we look at, a very good finish to the Cup Carnival. Take care, guys. Subscribe, stick around, and we'll talk soon. See yous.